What is going on, peasants? My name is JB, and I'm here today for what probably will be, my final draft analysis for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. This is BBL Season 3. For those of you who don't know, the Bandless Battlers League, or BBL, is an Ubers League ran by the homie AA Ron 2420. Last season we were a semi-finalist, and just narrowly missed out on having the honor of losing to Gypsy King in the finals because our stupid Palki just had to go and miss a spatial rend, which was mighty unfortunate. I probably still would have lost the game anyway, but I mean, hey, it sealed our fate. But enough of the past. So let's go ahead and just go right on into the team, and I guess we go over the rules. I forget the total amount of points, which is why I'm stalling, but you can see by what's on your screen right now the threat we ended up drafting with our first overall pick. But before we get into that, I had the 16th pick out of 16 coaches, which it tends to happen way more than it should with me, but it's whatever. You know, we ended up with a wheel pick, which is fine. That's cool with me, and there were 16 coaches, obviously. You had 110 points, and 41 of your points could be spent on Ubers. You could tell the page just loaded. There were a few clauses, like only 3 RCS forms can be drafted, and some Pokemon have like those. So like once 3 RCS forms were taken, all the RCS forms are taken off the board for everyone else. You can draft less Ubers, just not more than these. So yeah, Ubers are any Pokemon considered 17 and above, so you could spend any number of points that is less than 41. I think you could draft like 3 Ubers if they were under 41 points. Actually, no, 17 plus 3 is... yeah. So yeah, you could only draft 2 Ubers technically. So yeah. That's how that works. Anyway, enough stalling. Our first pick, we decided to go ahead and grab Groudon. It was a really cool mon that was still on the board when it was my pick. So I'm like, you know what, that could be fun to build around. I originally, I tore this team down immediately after the jab because I'm like, you know what, there's way more fun things on the board, and I just want to have fun with the season. So I originally had like Darkrai, Electivire, which I was sad to let go. I can pull up what I had. I can pull up what I had. So transactions chat. So I originally had Darkrai, Electivire, and 4 leftover points after the draft because I miscounted like a fucking retard, and it ended up costing me one of my transactions. And I ended up picking up 3 different mons. So yeah, I had Darkrai to pay. Like I took Darkrai on the wheel, but I'm like, you know what? There's some more fun things that I can do, and I think I'd rather have a little bit more fun and have a little bit more points to work with. And like I said, I fucked up the points during the draft, so like I wasted a transaction. I could still have that, but you know, it's whatever. So our next, it wasn't our next pick, but the next mon on our team is Mega Houndoom. I'm like, you know what, I have Groudon. There's another really fun dark type that benefits really well from Sun. I've always wanted to try Mega Houndoom. I've never had an excuse, and with this being, you know, one of my go home leagues for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I decided to, you know, let's have a little bit more fun with this one. We'll take AP Academy a little bit more on the serious side. So yeah, we're going in with the fun, with the memes. So yeah, we're going with Mega Houndoom, Groudon. So yeah, we're trying to get some Sun sweeps. Mega Houndoom is just a really cool Pokemon. It's, you know, it should be a ton of fun, and that's really all we're going for. It just hits so damn hard, 140 attack. Show me something that's switching into this thing in the sun, and I'll call you a liar. So yeah, that's pretty cool. This isn't a full-on Sun team by any means, but I did want to go ahead and grab Mega Houndoom because, you know, it looked like a ton of fun. Next up, we have Sylveon. Obviously, I wanted to have a few good Pokemon, so we got Sylveon here. It's thick AF. It's got Pixelate, which is broken, and I really want an excuse to bring Pixelate Hyper Beam. So hopefully, I'll have an excuse to bring Pixelate Hyper Beam 1 week. It can do Calm Mind stuff. It can Cleric stuff. You guys know what Sylveon does by this point. It's just a really fat, annoying fairy, and it gave me what I needed on the squad. So next up, I was just looking for something really cool that was still on the board and something broken that was still on the board, and the boy Jirachi was still available, so I went ahead and grabbed it. Jirachi is one of the most annoying Pokemon probably ever. It flinches everything, and as you all know, Hacks is a win con, so we're just gonna Iron Head some stuff, Heart Stand some stuff, and Body Slam some stuff, and just annoy the hell out of everyone. So that was our goal with Jirachi. Gives me another Stealth Rocker, gives me good pivoting and Healing Wish and stuff like that, so it can be a team supporty cleric-y sort of mon as well. So that's what we got going on with the homie Jirachi. Next up, I wanted to grab a mon that I have been seeing put in so much work in various other leagues, and it's something I've never really gotten to try. So I went ahead and grabbed Lycanroc Dusk, probably too early, but this mon just puts in so much work, and you know, we kind of got a pupper team going on. We got 2 puppers, so as a pupper clacks their feet all over my damn floor, but yeah, we got Lycanroc Good Boy, and we're gonna Excel Rock some stuff with Tough Claws is broken. Oh, I should have mentioned anything under that's not an Uber, so anything 17 points and under can use a Z move. So all of these Pokemon on my team besides Groudon and Mega Houndoom can use Z moves. Obviously Houndoom qualifies, but it's a Mega, so it can, and Groudon is an Uber, that's above 17 points, so it can't. Everything else though is free to use. It's free Z, so we can splinter Thorn Shard some things if I want to draw a Pupper in MS Paint and have some fun with that. But you know, Endeavor, Excel Rock, it's just really fun, and I'm hoping to put in a lot of work with this. And from here on out, the team just kind of gets a lot memeier. I wouldn't say bad, but it definitely gets memeier. So next up, this is just one of my favorite Pokemon. I wanted to go ahead and get Braviary, as like I literally just said, it is one of my favorite Pokemon. Sheer Force Defiant hits like an effing truck. Decent enough speed tier, makes it a great Scarf Revenge killer. Defiant to defer Defog, because, you know, why the hell not? I get stuff like Bulk Up. If you like sub Bulk Up, Braviary is a phenomenal set. Can return, it can Brave Bird, it can just do all sorts of things. It has Sheer Force, and it's so good. Another decent U-turn option, and it should be a fun mon indeed. Next up, this was another one of our transactions. So I had like 25 points I had 28 points to play with after the draft, so I picked up Mega Houndoom and this next Pokemon, which is Salamence. It was the best thing on the board. It gave me the best Dragon type available. I'm like, you know what, I want to give Salamence another shake. It did me really well in PCL Season 1. It literally carried me to semifinals against no pun intended, I believe it was. So yeah, this thing literally has carried me to through a playoff game in a league. So I want to, you know, just give it another try. It's a really cool mon with Freezy format. It should be just a ton of fun to click buttons with and just go in. So yeah, really looking forward to using Mints again. Always a fun time. Definitely a very reliable Pokemon that I enjoy using. So like I said, this isn't a full-on Sun team, but I did want to have at least one more mon that could take advantage of Groudon Sun. So we went ahead and took Victory Bell. Listen, I could have taken so many other Sun Sweepers, but I went with Victory Bell specifically because I've been playing PU a ton at the time, and I had a really disgusting Sun team that had Victory Bell on it. So I'm like, you know what, Victory Bell is just going to win me some games, and hopefully it can do that. Chlorophyll, obviously, is the main drawing point of this thing with, you know, Groudon Sun. And, you know, we got stuff like Acid Spray and Knockoff, so it can function outside of Sun. It also gets, it doesn't get Leech Seed, it gets Leech Life, which is annoying, but it gets like Weather Ball to hit Steel type. So yeah, it's a really cool mon and should be a ton of fun to use. So hopefully we can put in some work with Victory Bell here and there. So now here, the next mon is where Snipes actually started to feel a little bit bad. There were 2 water types in particular I had my eye on, of course. With stuff like Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre, and even regular Kyogre being allowed. I had my eye on Golduck. Everyone had their eye on Golduck. MattOshea was the one who was ballsy enough to take it earlier than anyone else, so that sucked. And I also kind of really wanted to try out Lapras as a low tier water, and just weirdly enough, Lapras also got taken. So I'm like, you know what, that really sucks. Like I was like, really? I got stuck to fucking Lapras? Aaron sort of did a thing where he like toned down the points a lot from last season, so people were delving into the low tiers early. So yeah, I was just like, really? But I wanted a water type that, you know, could at least function inside of Sun with good enough coverage. So we went ahead and grabbed Samurott. Samurott is always a mod that I, you know, have admired. I just really like its design. It has a fun move pool, and I'm hoping it can put in a little bit of work. It has a wild move pool with stuff like Mega Horn, Ice Beam, Air Slash, even like Grass Knot. It just gets a ton of wild stuff. Sacred Sword, Superpower. It gets a ton of coverage, so it should be fun to use, and hopefully we could do some cool stuff and things with the boy Samurott. It's got some decent offensive stats on it as well. Slightly better special attack and physical attack, but it does get Swords Dance. So yeah, it's a fun mon. Hopefully we can put in a little bit of work with it. So next up at this point in the draft, we have 2 hazard removers, and neither one of them ever want to run it. In the 2 birds are Mins and our Braviary, so neither one of them ever want to run hazard removal. So I needed to go ahead and grab me a mon that can pretty reliably remove them hazards. So we went ahead and grabbed Hitmontop. Hitmontop does one thing well: it's bulky and it's a rapid spinner. It has a lot of priority too, which is cool. But that's about it. It's thick. It can spin. It can punch things occasionally. and it can, you know, move before other Pokemon because priority exists. But with that being said, our last pick is the last Pokemon we picked up after the draft. So I actually, you know, I have 2 extra boxes here because I was stupid and like I didn't realize until I already was like putting the last one in. I'm like, wait, there's an extra box here, and then I was too lazy to go back and remake all the other slides. So eat dicks basically, because just be triggered, OCD people. Anyway, our last Pokemon is of course the Luxray. I was like looking, like I had to drop Electivire because there was nothing else I wanted to drop that would make the points work. I'm like, man, I really don't want to drop Evire. But I decided to go ahead and grab Luxray in the tier that was available to me, the best electric type in the tier that was available to me. Like there was Ampharos as well. I'm like, you know what, Ampharos could at least Hail Bell, but I'm like, you know, Luxray's here. I'm taking Luxray for the homie Dorian. It does get good abilities and Intimidate and Guts. It's so slow that I can't really take advantage of Guts. It's only base 70 speed. It would be really good if I had a web setter. So maybe I can use one of my last 2 transactions to pick up a web setter and try to get some Luxray sweeps, at least 1. That's all I need is 1. I just need Luxray to put in work once. Is that too much to ask? Like, can we make that happen? Like, can someone in the league who's watching this, can like we collude one week to make Luxray get a lot of kills because it's a Luxray? But it gets stuff like Wild Charge, it gets the Elemental Fangs, gets Superpower, Night Slash. Like, it's pretty cool. So I don't expect it to come a lot, but maybe it can, you know, get some slow volt switches, get some nice momentum for the squad, and put in a decent amount of work, because Intimidate's not a bad thing. We do have a decent amount of Intimidate on this team, so hopefully physical attackers just in general are deterred from coming to games versus me. So yeah, that is going to do it for our draft analysis for BBL Season 3. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.